As long as the radio's full, that's all that matters.
Hello and welcome once again to Monkey Madness, where I review every episode of the 60s grooviest family sitcom The Monkees in original broadcast order, before ranking them all whenever I've finished. Today I'm reviewing Monkees Mind Their Manor. Davy inherits a country estate in England from a crazy old rich lord. The catch is that he has to live there for 5 years in order to inherit it. It can be sold to the villagers for £50,000, but they don't have that kind of money, and if they don't manage to raise it in time, then the estate will be inherited by Lance the Kibby the Sot, who will sell the village to be made into a development. This episode was actually directed by Peter Tork, credited here using his full surname, Torkelson. It's particularly interesting, considering that he probably had the least to do with TV production going forward than the rest of them. Mickey directed a lot in the 80s, Michael directed and set up his own production company, and Davy didn't do anything like that, I don't think, but he didn't leave the industry in the 70s like Peter did either. I seem to remember hearing at some point that this was a leftover script from Series 1, and that he and his brother reworked it slightly, which is the norm to do uncredited. It's probably a surprise that he ended up making an episode somewhere in the middle. Not uniquely bizarre like the episode Mickey would direct, nor as cookie cutter as some of their earlier episodes, but somewhere in between. The pacing of the editing seems slightly off to me in a couple of moments, which is very important in comedy, and the main conflict is exposited twice in 2 back-to-back scenes. It looks like he did have some fun with the editing in terms of stock footage and sound effects at least. The main strength of the episode is the guest cast. Laurie Main does a good job as the nervous but kindly innkeeper Mr. Fryer. Jack Good not only gave a very funny cartoonishly drunken performance as Lance Kibby the Sot, but went on to produce the Monkees' notorious 1968 Christmas special, 33 1/3 revolutions per monkey. Yeah, I'll cover that at some point.
Woman!
I'm guessing that they were telling the truth about the prop man playing the customs officer.
Look, sweetie, I might be Jack Williams, the property man to you, but to 20 million teenagers, I'm the customs man.
Bernard Fox does a pretty good job as the villainous Sir Twiggly Toppin Middlebottom, although he's more of a competent straight man villain. Reginald Gardinier does a good job in his small role as the comically short-sighted butler, who looks so much like Alfred from the Burton Schumacher Batman films that I had to double-check it wasn't him. Whilst Myra de Groot is alright as the innkeeper's daughter Mary, although her voice is a tad grating. It's not a bad accent though, as the actress herself is British.
But the villagers don't have that kind of money, and if the boys leave, the villagers will lose their homes.
Speaking of accents, I can't tell whether David Pearl is doing Cockney or Irish here.
So where do you want the lambs, Governor?
The lads are good as usual. Obviously, Davy's the one with the biggest role. In terms of their clothes, I like Davy's Nehru jacket and stripy trousers combo, and Peter's beads. I think they're all dressed pretty well in this one. That's just what stands out the most. When we do see the village in the medieval fair scene, they seem to have shot it almost entirely at this angle, where half of it is this wooded area with this house with Tudor beams, which looks appropriate, whilst the other half is terraced housing? This is almost certainly because Peter was working within the confines of the available backlot, where pretty much all Monkey exteriors were filmed. But couldn't they nudge the camera left a bit? We get to hear the soundtrack of Fairy Tale during the duel scene, which is great because I love that music.
Go back in there and get him, son!
Speaking of music, the only song we get in the story segment of this episode is Davy singing a beautiful rendition of Greensleeves during the singing competition at the fair.
Alas, my love, you do me wrong.
The episode ends with a fourth wall breaking tag scene before we get a music video for Star Collector, which has been featured in the show before. I think it's been cut down slightly here at the very end. It's a song with a chirpy, futuristic sound, accompanied by the Monkees miming without instruments and white polo necks, surrounded by psychedelic lighting.
Yes, she's a star.
I do like this one, but I've talked about it a lot before, so I'm just going to give a shout out to Peter's hip wiggle. That's all. All in all, this episode is decent. It's nothing extraordinary, but it's certainly a good time. I'm certainly glad that Peter had the opportunity to make it. Have you seen this episode? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to tip me, you can buy me a coffee on Ko-Fi. Whilst you're there, you can also get a membership for bonus content, including seeing how I make videos just like this. If you want to see me talk about the vibrant restoration of the Silent Monkees episode, then you can watch my last Monkees episode review here. See you soon!